What are some of the core changes to the practice of public relations that you're seeing globally?
Well, there are a number of changes that are taking place and that I'm seeing in public relations. Many of them are fueled by digital and social media. One of them is the notion that we've evolved beyond messaging, beyond the idea that we're pushing messages at stakeholders with the expectation that they'll take them on board, and we've moved into an era of relationship and dialogue. And one of the things that has meant is a return to the fundamentals of public relations, which used to be all about brokering relationships between organizations and their stakeholders to mutual benefit.
And I guess the question that follows from that is, are we talking more about the creation of communities, or have they always been there?
I think communities have always existed. I mean, since there were two people, or maybe three, we've had communities. I think what digital and social media has done is erase some of the limiting factors. So, the notion of time, distance, these things have gone away. Communities are forming, from across geographies and in real time. So, people are doing what they've always done, which is to gather together as like-minded individuals. They're just doing it more quickly and from greater distance.
What challenges does the creation of these communities provide to practitioners of public relations?
Well, I think it provides challenges and opportunities. And in public relations, we always have opportunities. We can't simply have challenges. I think that the challenges for organizations are in figuring out how to manage relationships with communities that have an interest in them. I think that those communities talk about organizations, talk about brands, whether they'd like them to or not. And so it becomes incumbent on those organizations to manage their relationships with those communities, and that's a challenge. The opportunity is that those same communities can be enormous strengths for organizations in their ability to achieve their objectives.
What impact has these communities and also social and digital media had on crisis and issues management, which is, I guess, a big part of what public relations is about today?
Yeah, I think what we've seen, and you just have to look at recent events and events over about the past, I'd say 6 to 12 months, to see the significant shifts that have happened in crisis management as a result of the proliferation of social media. Organizations don't always get to decide what constitutes a crisis, for one thing. Their communities, in many cases, determine whether they've got a problem with a product or a service or a policy. That's certainly one consideration. Another consideration is the amount of time organizations have to respond to crisis. It used to be that at the first sign of a crisis, a war room was convened and some planning took place, and it might be days or even weeks before that planning had to be executed. These days, fueled by social media, there's a requirement that organizations act at times in hours or minutes.
There was a feature that you mentioned earlier about real-time reputation management. Perhaps you could explain a bit around that.
Sure. We've actually developed a real-time reputation specialty at Porter Novelli to answer the challenges that we're seeing in crisis communications, in the era of social media. And it includes many of the things I've been talking about. It includes vulnerability audits. It includes preparedness. It includes monitoring. It includes response, and it includes reputation restoration. One of the things that's different about this offering is the way it brings together seasoned corporate communications specialists with their colleagues and counterparts in digital and social media, who not only understand how to monitor for potential problems, but also how to use digital and social media for crisis mitigation.